Hey, it's Phoebe and today I'm exploring Jewel at Changi Airport. Now I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really tired today. I was up late last night and it's particularly humid outside, so instead of running around the island in the heat, catching public transport everywhere, I thought we could just spend the day together at Jewel, having a look at what there is to see, do and eat. And there is a lot of it, but I also want to share with you some great tips on how to find Jewel, because the first time I tried to do it, I got it wrong and I don't want you to miss out. But first things first, I am really hungry. Tai Fung is one of my favorite places to get dumplings. Now they have quite a few locations dotted around the world, but I always eat it when I'm in Singapore, so to me it feels like a real Singaporean treat. I've got some of their steamed vegetarian dumplings. I've got a little bit of rice. I'm going to try and control myself and hold it there. I've made a good little mix of that ginger with lots of chili in it, some vinegar and a little bit of soy. So, I've been waiting a long time for this. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, and then fried rice is next level. Good Lord. I want you to think of Jewel as a shopping mall, and maybe if you already know that, that seems really obvious to you, but when I first visited, it wasn't what I thought. I thought Jewel was the waterfall. I thought that was Jewel, and I didn't realize that it's basically, or it is, a shopping mall, and there's heaps of things in here. And the waterfall is actually called the Rain Vortex, and that is its own thing within the center of Jewel, the shopping center. If you've ever seen those photos on Instagram of people and they're standing there and there's nobody else in the shot, I don't know how they get those. I don't know if that's possible. Every time I come, it is super, super busy, but that doesn't bother me. There are so many places that you can kind of scurry around to get a more of a quick shot with fewer people in it. There are lots of really good places that you can just sit if you want to get some takeout food and relax in between flights. But either way, it's definitely worth checking out. So how do you actually visit Jewel? I tried the first time I came to Singapore after it opened and I got it wrong. I thought it was on the air side. I thought you could be in between flights with an hour or two to spare and you would be able to see it because it would be in between flight gates. It's not. You have to actually enter Singapore. You have to get landside to be able to see it, and that's where I went wrong, and hopefully somebody else is thinking that too, otherwise I'm just going to feel silly. Everything is really well signed, so you're definitely going to be able to find it easily. That's not your problem. Your problem is timing. If you do not have enough time or you don't have nerves of steel, you're not going to be able to see it while running in between flights. You want a good couple of hours so you can confidently leave that airside, come here, see it, experience it, hopefully stay, grab a bite to eat, have an ice cream, have a drink, whatever, and then go and catch your next flight if you're on a layover. So the obvious question then is, if I am checking in for a flight, what do I do with my luggage? I hear you. Now some airlines let you check in up to 24 hours before your flight. For some it's 6 hours and for some it's just a couple. So definitely check with your airline to find out if you're able to check in early, because that's the perfect thing to do with your bags. Check in, drop them off, come and explore. If you don't have that option, there are places that you can store your bags. They're like locker services. I even believe some of them do laundry, so you could have your dirty laundry ready to go, give it to them, they could turn it around for you so all of your laundry is clean before you catch your next flight. And of course, worst case scenario, if you didn't have a lot of luggage, if you just had like a small 20-kilo bag, maybe you could bring it with you and wheel it around for the day. Not ideal, but not the worst thing in the world either. In terms of things to do, there is a lot. You could spend the whole day in here and do everything very cheap, or just do a free day and not spend any money at all, or you could splash out on some of the ticketed experiences, and there are quite a few. There's the Canopy Walk, which is kind of a special bridge you get over, you get a bit closer to the Rain Vortex, everything like that. There's some cool little ropes things. You do have to be wearing shorts though to get on those, I believe. A few other cool viewpoints, interactive experiences, all of that kind of thing. They also have rotating things that pop up that are ticketed as well. You can pay to go to those. I paid the $8 to come into the Canopy Park. I really like it up here. You get to walk around. There's some really nice places to sit. There aren't as many people up here, which is perfect. and it's an all-day pass, which I love. Now in the evenings there is a light show. The waterfall does tricks, all kinds of cool things, and that happens hourly from about 7:30 to 12:30. Let me give you the hot tip on that $8 Canopy Park pass. When the light show happens every night from 7:30 to 12:30 on the hour, it is packed. You are going to be hard pressed to get a really good seat for it. But if you have the Canopy Park pass, you can go in and out of that thing as many times as you like. So you can buy it earlier in the day, come back out for 7:30 and have an amazing seat with a perfect view. Nobody's going to be standing in front of you, no jostling, no crowds. I've hooked you up. You know that's a hot tip. You know it. There are a lot of shops to explore at Jewel, a lot. There's a lot of things you'll recognize, a lot of things that are new. I saw Tokyo Hands, which I haven't seen outside of Japan. One of my favorite stores. It's quite expensive here, but still worth checking out. And there are so many food options, all kinds of restaurants, every cuisine you can think of. Cake stores, ice cream spots, coffee shops, places selling local Singaporean snacks, Chinese snacks, all kinds of things that you could just tuck into, try, or take home as gifts. But I saw quite a few people eating ice cream and I got really jealous. It looks so good, and I've seen the shop called Birds of Paradise a couple of times, and I think maybe it's a local thing. I don't know, if anyone knows, let me know, but it looks so good. It was the perfect looking scoop of gelato. I got the dairy-free dark chocolate, and I've got a seat right near the rain Vortex. There she is, and I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy this. Dark chocolate anything is my favorite. Dark chocolate sea salt in particular. That is so, so good. Yum. There are a lot of different food options, from high-end all the way down to sort of hawker food. In a sense. So if you come down to the bottom floor, the food hall, that's where I am now, there is a Food Republic. Now that's as close as you're going to get to an authentic hawker store within Jewel. There's actually a surprisingly good number of stalls set up. So if you are on a layover and you don't think you're going to get to try real Singaporean food, skip everything else and come straight down here and tuck into some local favorites. That's where you're going to get some of the most authentic food experiences. I didn't know this, but right down at the bottom of Jewel, they actually have an IMAX cinema. So if you have a long time in between or before a flight, you can come down here and kill a couple of hours watching a movie. But otherwise, you could just eat your way through the whole place. You know, I did something I've never done before. I actually started at the top and did an entire lap of each floor as I worked my way down. I don't know why I've never done that. Usually I just roam around haphazardly, but I would highly recommend doing it that way. I have seen more than I have ever seen before at Jewel. There are so many things here that I didn't know they had, and I'm glad I did it that way. It worked out really well. So if you have the time, do that. I want to share with you a little bit of a travel life hack. This is something I started doing in the last year or two. I decided to start putting together a capsule wardrobe because over the pandemic I was looking in my cupboard, clearing out like everybody else did, and I realized how much crap I had, how many clothes I didn't wear, and how hard it was when I was packing for a trip away. I had to pack so many individual items, and I would go home and realize I barely wore half of them. And then over the pandemic, I started seeing these videos online about capsule wardrobes. So basically what it is you buy specific pieces, things that you can mix and match, things that are classics, and then statement pieces that go along with that. And it has changed my life. So it can be things like shorts and tops that you can mix and match. Shorts and skirts that you can mix and match. My latest thing that I wanted to show you, I got this bag. So the company actually contacted me. They're called Teddy Blake, and normally I say no to those kinds of things. I'm like, no, I'm not a fashion blogger. How could I tell anybody anything about fashion? But then I realized it's a travel life hack. Now when I go to pack, I grab 5 basic shirts, 5 basic bottoms, 5 basic dresses, 3 pairs of shoes, 3 bags, and I am good to go. So I chose this as their Ava bag. It's an 11-inch bag. My camera, everything fits inside it with the gold and everything like that, and the color of it, it goes with everything. So this is what I'm saying. It's about investing in better quality pieces selectively. If you're planning to navigate Singapore, I have a few essential tips for you. The public transport system here is absolutely amazing. Safe, clean, reliable, everything you want and need it to be. I would recommend getting an EasyLink card. That means you can tap on and tap off. You don't have to buy a paper ticket every time. And you can also use the EasyLink card to pay for certain things as well. Like I used to pay for my ticket into the Canopy Park up here today. It's accepted at Macca's and some convenience stores and things like that, so it's worth having an EasyLink card anyway. And if you're not confident navigating the public transport system, especially the buses, download a free app called Move It. My mum put me onto it. I've been using it the whole time I've been here. It's truly been amazing. If you're not a public transport person, Grab is going to be your best bet. There is no Uber in Singapore, so download Grab before you go. Add your payment method. Don't get caught out like I did. Make sure you're more organized than I am. And if you are going to be doing a lot of sightseeing, if you want to stay connected, if you're traveling throughout Southeast Asia, get a local SIM card. I got a Southeast Asia SIM card. It was 30 days, 10 gig, and it works through a whole bunch of Southeast Asia countries. I got mine from Sims Direct. You just get it before you go, but I actually saw on their website they're coming out with eSIMs soon. Sounds pretty amazing. You scan a QR code and the SIM card somehow just magically shows up on your phone. Technology. It's crazy to me, but that's really helpful. And with that, you guys, that brings this week's episode to a close. I really hope you've enjoyed spending the day at Jewel with me. I know I've enjoyed spending the day with you. Now, if you don't already, be sure to subscribe right now so you never miss a single episode, and say hello in the comments below. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you with a brand new episode next week. Love ya!